corporate income taxes from 35% down to 28%. That announcement came earlier this week. But could this tax proposal actually hurt small business? Joining us now, Brian Hamilton, CEO of SageWorks. This is a firm that collects and analyzes data specifically from private companies. And Brian, it is wonderful to have you back on this show. So in reading the president's proposal, his words, this is supposed to streamline and make less complicated the tax code, especially for small businesses.
Right.
It doesn't do that, though, according to your opinion.
Well, if you have you read the actual paper? It's about 100 pages. There's a lot of up and down. And here's the thing. Remember, of all the businesses in the country, and there's 27 million, only 6% are C corporations. So they would get the tax cut, but you really have to look at the other side of the equation.
All right. So you've got these small businesses who, for the last year, have been reporting to us here in the media how confused they are, how they're holding back making job decisions, throwing out capital expenditures because of all of this uncertainty.
Sure.
Does this take any of that away?
Well, very interesting. Remember, our economy moves like a glacier, right? Once it starts moving in a direction, it tends to go that way. So right now, it's going pretty well. Revenues are up, profits are up, so things are good. But when Washington not throws grenades, but they throw a lot of confusing new variables in, then businesses start to look at that and say, what is that going to mean for me? And remember, most businesses are small businesses, and they're creating between 70 and 80% of jobs. So things are going pretty well, right? Unemployment's coming down. But if you look at the whole labyrinth of all this stuff and the tax proposal and the economic plan, it's definitely confusing. There's no question. Remember, one other thing, too. We don't even know what the Republican response is going to be. So once that gets thrown in there, you've got a lot of confusion or confused business people.
The Treasury Secretary came right out and said this overall corporate tax reform plan is, quote, revenue neutral. Yet there's been a lot of debate about that, saying that in aggregate, actually, American business, public and private, are actually going to end up sending more tax dollars to the federal government. Brian, have you been able to figure out what it means to the bottom, to the bottom line, yes, but in terms of the overall revenue
it's a great question. No one has really, right? But look at it this way. 6% are C Corps. Maybe their rate goes down. But look at the other people. You know, you've got 94% of people who are sole proprietorships, they're partnerships, LLCs. They are not going to be affected by that corporate tax rate going down. Their taxes are likely to go up. In fact, if they go through with this, right, their dividends could be taxed at a much higher rate. So again, there's so many variables, Lori, and if you're the average privately held company business owner, you're looking at it saying, what does it mean for me? It's going to take a team of tax professionals to figure that out.
Well, when you talk about variables, I automatically think of higher input costs, specifically energy. You know, we've been reporting on this fear of $5 gasoline come this summer. I mean, that's got to put another huge crimp, especially on these small employee-type businesses. I mean, what do you think the outcome of that's going to be?
Yeah, great point. But really, look at what's really happened right now, right? Revenues are going up, margins are going up, profits are going up. So the price increase of gasoline's not good, but it's a minor factor.
It is. Okay.
It really is. And unemployment's coming down. So what we have to do is look at Washington and say, can we get something that's very simple, right, that people understand where they can make better plans? And right now, that's definitely not the case.
All right, well,
and by the way, one other thing, it doesn't mean it's a bad plan or it's a good plan. It's just a lot of variables, so people have to consider that.
But you're waiting for the Republican response at this point.
Can you imagine?
I know. Well, you make a fantastic point, Brian. Brian Hamilton, once again, thanks for joining us today.
Good to be here.